Hello and welcome back to Talks Without a Map, the podcast where directionless banter has a destination. Eventually. मैं हूँ रिधिमा.
और मैं हूँ रोहन और आज हम बात करने वाले हैं एक ऐसे बैरियर की जो एयरपोर्ट पे सिक्योरिटी चेक से नहीं निकलती, लैंग्वेज बैरियर.
Recently, I had gone to New Zealand, Thailand और जो कुछ लैंग्वेज के साथ हमारे हुआ है ना लाइक थाईलैंड में जाकर हम हमारी ग्रामर भूल जाते हैं.
ग्रामर ही भूल जाते हैं.
हाँ.
एंड न्यूजीलैंड में क्या प्रॉब्लम आता है? दे स्पीक इन इंग्लिश.
Yeah, they do, but their pronunciations.
Okay.
Might is.
Okay, pronunciation barrier
Yeah,
था वहाँ पे.
yeah.
Yeah.
So because of the pronunciation, वहाँ पे language की भी थोड़ी सी दिक्कत आ जाती है.
Okay, that's why. It's the same thing had happened to us in Australia because उनकी भी accent होती है ना. I mean, you watch cricket and all, but then when you actually go there and talk to people, you start understanding that you're not understanding what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
And then I used to still manage, but then my mom used to always look at me, okay, what did they just say?
Yeah.
And then I used to tell her in English, Indian English. And they never used to understand that Indian English.
Yeah.
That's what used to happen.
So you have to adapt to their way of talking, and otherwise then you face problems.
But see, right now, recently I went to US. I can somehow manage US accent. It's not much of a deal for me. Yeah. But when it comes to Australian accent or British accent or New Zealand accent, South African accent, that's something I just can't do. I just can't impersonate it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
And same goes with Thailand.
So that is another topic only because language का पूरा ही problem वहाँ पे.
And forget out of India, even within India, we face lot of not problems, but काफी जगह अभी Goan English है.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a barrier, but grammatically,
maybe grammatically, and placing of words is also different at different places.
Yeah.
And
even in South India.
Oh God, South India, for sure. And even the accent comes into picture at that time. And not in English, but in Hindi, there are certain words, like I said, placing of words. So North Indians generally say कि वो gate बंद करो. And initially I was like, gate घर पे क्या gate होता है? घर पे तो दरवाजा होता है, no? We have a door. नहीं वो gate बंद करो. Then I realized, okay, they call this gate. It's not just the gate that is there downstairs, you know. So sometimes this kind of language barrier comes.
Hyderabadi? Oh my God,
I'm not aware of that.
Fascinates me. You know, अभी चाय में बटरा डुबा के खाते हैं.
बाप रे, okay.
फिर क्या हावलेपना करता है रे? Means क्या
पागलपन. Okay. No, but when it comes to English as a language barrier, when you're traveling abroad, because in our country, even if you're in South India and they don't speak in Hindi, but still in English you can manage it somehow. North में again problem नहीं आती because everywhere Hindi is spoken. But when it comes to English as a language barrier, when you're abroad, both of us, I'm sure we have faced this problem when you really want something and then you're just unable to express it and they are unable to do it. Yeah. So I think we should share those kind of experiences and what all we did. We'll start with you.
Yeah. Once we were going to Indonesia, Bali में जा रहे थे. We had a long layoff in Malaysia.
अच्छा.
Okay. And we were actually bored और क्या समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. एंड वहाँ पे एक चाइनीज़ कपल था. दे वर लाइक फाइटिंग एंड इतने जोर से झगड़ रहे थे दैट माई डॉटर सेड ममा दिस सीम्स मच मोर एंटरटेनिंग. हम लोग ऐसे ही बैठे. सो शुड वी जस्ट गूगल ट्रांसलेट में डाल दूँ क्या वो लोग क्या
एंड
नहीं, बट वी डिडंट डू दैट. बट यू नो वो शायद हमें और पता चलता. एंड आई डोंट नो टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट गूगल ट्रांसलेट कैन
actually but maybe they were not even fighting. You never know.
No, they were fighting. Yeah. Because you could
make it out.
Yeah, make it out. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll come to my experience later. I'll tell you my parents' experience in Russia. They'd been to Russia last year for a show.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go there because of work. And so I have learned basic Russian. I can speak basic. I can speak. So if I were to be there, उनको इतनी दिक्कत नहीं आती. But they said that there is not a single board written in English. If even in a city like Moscow, because where the show was in Ryazan, a city called Ryazan, they were having translators, but they had come back to Moscow for sightseeing. There was not a single board in English that could guide them back, and these people didn't take any data also out there, like internet. So उनको बहुत ही problem आने लगी थी. At one restaurant, the waitress, she wanted to ask whether they wanted hot water or cold water. Now, if I were to be there, I could have said like Jarka and Kholadna. That's what they say. But obviously, my parents were not understanding that, and she wasn't understanding a word of English. So she finally made gestures, like this way, like cold, that way, like freezing way, or it should be hot. That way she said. And my mom replied, okay, we want cold, that way. This is one barrier. Then, but somebody or the else was Google translating it for them.
Interpreter.
No. That was
Then-
in the Rizan city. But in Moscow, my dad said that people are so nice that when they don't speak English, they make efforts to translate English into Russian.
Okay.
And they'll guide you. Like my dad asked a boy once, a man over there, how do I book a ticket for this particular bus which leaves? So he replied in English through the translator, better go for free.
Oh, acha.
Yeah. So with hand gestures, my dad says we used to play damsharas out there. Because with hand gestures, we used to ask them ki station kaun sa hai? Where could I eat? Where should I get down? Where is this hotel? Etc. etc. And because, as I said, they didn't have any pack or data to browse internet, they managed those 3 days in Moscow, and they said it was fun.
Yeah.
Language
I
barriers can be
imagine.
this way.
Yeah.
We will go to you before I come back to my own story.
हाँ. अभी हम रिसेंटली थाईलैंड गए थे, तो वहाँ पे आइलैंड हॉपिंग के लिए हम लोग गए थे.
Yeah.
सो दे इंस्ट्रक्ट यू. वहाँ पे जो पियर रहता है वहाँ पे ग्रुप वाइज दे इंस्ट्रक्ट यू. तो वहाँ पे वो इंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहा था, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ अस फॉर इंडियंस. ओके, तो ही वाज लाइक आई लव इंडियंस एंड ऐसा वगैरह वो सब कर रहा था. एंड उसके जो वाटर शूज रहते हैं, he was telling people to buy those water shoes. Okay, तो उसके सेलिंग स्किल्स थे ना, वो इतने अच्छे थे. वो जो इंग्लिश में बात कर रहा था, बट somehow उनका इंग्लिश इतना खास नहीं होता है, like grammatically they are not.
Yeah, even
so
the accent is
yeah. So what he was saying, white sand, and if you go, it's soft, and then he was showing the soft sand and all, and if you put your leg on that, and then he was like, it'll be very hot, and then your bum, if you sit on the sand, your bum will get burnt. I don't know, it was so much fun, and he was trying to sell those water shoes to us. You better buy those water shoes, otherwise
these all things will happen.
Yeah.
That way. That's fun.
So it was good fun. Yeah.
And also you were telling me about this restaurant or cafe in Krabi, where you said you wanted vegetarian dish, but they served you with prawns and fish, because for them vegetarian.
It is
That's also, I feel, a language barrier, because for them vegetarian is not.
They don't understand. Yeah.
अरे बाप रे, ऐसे तो flights में भी होता है, मैंने सुना. So they have this Jain menu.
Yeah.
That's why, because vegetarian for them is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you are ekdam kattar vegetarian, then you better be prepared for all this. Yeah.
True.
नहीं तो धर्म भ्रष्ट हो जाएगा.
अरे बाप रे, language की
वजह से. Yeah.
But language is the only way I feel where two people connect the most. Like for example, in a country like India, where we have so many languages, if you meet someone who speaks your mother tongue, that hits you differently.
Yeah.
So language barrier it creates problems, but the moment you start speaking in their language, even if you speak 2 words of their language, they feel good. If they speak your language, then there is a instant connection that happens. Language has that kind of strengthening.
But some people feel that you're mocking them, like if you try to,
ये तो
वो थोड़ा वो भी हो सकता है, like
yeah, mocking and all. Yeah, I mean, they make fun of Indian accent at times, I feel like. But then those are rude people. You can find them anywhere. But otherwise also, like I can imagine if I were to be in Russia at that time and I could have said at least 2 words in Russian, then things could have been a little easier.
There would have been a better connect.
Yeah. And I did that in Peru. Now coming to this thing, where I'd been to Peru after US during this Diwali, because my cousin got married there, because his wife is Peruvian. That's why the wedding was in Peru. वहाँ तो English का कुछ भी नहीं है, मतलब unless you actually go to an English school which speaks English or which teaches you English, nobody speaks in English out there. There is absolutely, just like Russia. All right.
So your brother knows that language?
No. So he doesn't need to, because my bhabhi, my sister-in-law,
sister.
she speaks fluent English.
Acha.
And she also learned it much later, by the way.
After they
She's,
got connected,
I think,
or
yeah, I mean, she used to study in America. That's how they met, and for that she had to learn English.
acha.
I think that's how it is.
Okay.
But she was
But
telling
how
me
they fell in love, like
they met in
without.
California. They met. I think they met on an app or something. And they met in New York, by the way. And by the time they matched,
Uh-huh.
she had already left for Peru or something like that. But
Okay.
it was just a few hours or something. That's why they matched.
Mm-hmm.
That So that's another story altogether. But she speaks proper English, and
Acha.
her mom also speaks proper English. Not proper, but okayish English, because she stays in
I
Boston
mean, you
now.
could understand
Yeah,
what
yeah.
she was saying.
Yeah, but but her husband couldn't.
I mean, your
Stepfather,
sister-in-law's.
her stepfather.
Okay.
Yeah, he couldn't, because he doesn't understand a word of English.
Oh.
So every time we had to have a conversation, it was through a Google Translator
Acha.
with regards to
But
everything and
Google
anything.
Translator is a like वो बराबर कर दे-
Exact. It
okay.
is, yeah. So there were a lot of things we wanted to talk to each other, but we couldn't. But Google Translator was helping, and she also had a driver there in Lima. In Lima, that's her hometown. So with him also we used to speak. He had a machine.
अच्छा.
तो आप बोलो उसमें जो बोलना है इंग्लिश में, it translates into Espanol, that is Spanish.
अच्छा. Okay.
And then with the help of that, we used to communicate. Now, when we just landed in Lima, America is like completely English speaking and everything. And from there, we went to a place where no English is spoken. And we were in that American English zone at that time. So when we landed, there was this complete barrier with language. And we took the car, like her driver had come to pick us up, who stays in the same locality as hers. And with him again, as I said, we were speaking through that gadget, and that was very different for us, different experience. And that was just the start, by the way.
Huh.
When we reached her house, her mum was there to welcome us, because Andriana, my sister-in-law, she had already gone to the place where the wedding was to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, we were to go later. And her mother, with whatever English she could speak, she was very warm and welcoming, and she's like, okay, come inside. And she offered us breakfast, because that was very early in the morning, and she said that we'll bring something for you right now. We don't have anything in the house. But I think she wasn't aware of the words like veg, non-veg, or maybe, I don't know, if maybe she didn't know those words.
Okay.
So she wanted to ask us whether you want veg or non-veg.
Huh.
So she was like, in her accent, she was like, animal, no animal.
Oh my god.
That was so cute. And I said, no, it's anything is fine. Okay, got it. And then on the table as well, many a times, she wanted to express a lot, but then her English used to get stuck. So that time she used to use the translator. And her husband was completely zoned out, because he didn't understand what we were speaking in. And then he used to chip in between. He used to say something to her, and then she used to translate in English. So this was just the start, as I said. And later, throughout the Peruvian trip that we had to different places that we went, everywhere we used to face this problem. Even I made a few friends out there who were her friends, or something like that. So with them also, but they used to speak English, because most of the younger generation does, but still they're not very proficient in English, as much as they are in their own language. And because this wedding took place in an interior part of a town out there, it was very different for them also, like an Indian wedding taking place, saris and celebrations and this and that. So we weren't aware of the fact that we had all become famous.
Oh.
That there is an Indian wedding that took place, and they were fascinated, because wo jo photographer thi, makeup person, they had all posted stories.
Acha.
And I remember my mum and I, my uncle and my aunt, we had visited an ice cream parlor in a town out there. And again, the same thing, like we were just trying to express, okay, we want this flavor and whatever. And then she started speaking something in English, in Spanish, sorry. Como este, something like that, I don't know. And we were like, okay, what is she saying exactly? And she understood that we aren't understanding. Okay, so she finally took out her phone and she showed us stories of us. And she's like, these were you guys, right?
Oh, it's
like,
so
oh my god. And that was like, that shows love.
Yeah.
She was so fascinated seeing us out there that अरे आप लोगों को हमने stories में देखा, and you are actually here in our parlor over here. So I feel like if there is a language barrier, you can still understand the warmth of that person.
Yeah.
So I'm sure even you must have had these experiences where that person's warmth and body language says a lot.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, as you were describing this experience of yours, I was just thinking, अगर वो time gadgets नहीं होते या Google Translator नहीं होता, how you would have managed?
पहले तो वही था ना, my
Yeah.
teacher who taught me Russian, she stayed in Russia for quite a few years. She was learning journalism and she said, अब नहीं इंग्लिश बोलते तो तब क्या इंग्लिश बोलते होंगे ना. So she went through a scholarship out there and she didn't want to miss the opportunity, obviously. And she said, so I asked her, how did you manage? So she said initially it was very tough, but we used to have a dictionary with us
अच्छा.
constantly. And every time, so we learned the basic alphabets of Russian and everything. So every time our teachers to speak something, we used to look into the dictionary. Like, how
Oh.
tough was that?
हाँ.
But you won't believe, because of that, her Russian is so fluent.
I'm sure.
It's so fluent, she can literally write literature, like even a literature or something like that. It's so good for her. So I think at that time, like इसमें marriages होते थे पहले, गुजराती, मराठी, बंगाली, this thing. उसमें भी वही होता होगा ना?
हाँ.
Because of language barrier, the other person used to pick up the language quickly, because you know that you don't have a choice but to
Yeah.
speak in that
Yeah.
language. So I'm sure.
This reminds me of my days, like, I had to go for an induction to Kolkata. वो टाइम कैलकटा बोलते थे. तो अभी वहाँ की मेन लैंग्वेज इज़ बंगाली, एंड दैट टाइम वी डिडंट हैव एनी. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 1990 1991 वो
Oh.
टाइम. So my father had got me a book of to read and speak in Bengali. उसका एक book लाया था.
Oh.
And that, though I'm not a reader, but मैंने, for my good, I I studied few things and it helped me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Must have, yeah.
So I could, connect with the locals there. Of course, Bengalis, they know English for sure.
Yeah.
But in fact, उनकी English तो हमसे भी बहुत
बेहतर
बेहतर
होती
होती
है,
है. लेकिन with the locals, like, the vendors and all, I could, talk to them in Bengali.
Really?
Yeah.
With
Broken,
basic?
but
Okay.
but ठीक है, but at least they could understand what I was saying. I could understand what they were
They
saying.
were saying, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
now you remember Bengali?
Yeah, I can understand Bengali and I can read also to some extent.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
speak something in Bengali.
Oh, কোথায় যাচ্ছে?
Oh, so where are you going? Is it? Oh, see, now I understand. I have dubbed in Bengali.
কেমন আসছে? হ্যাঁ.
I've dubbed in Bengali,
Yeah.
so I understand these.
Yeah.
Gujarati, though I
okay.
understand properly, but then Bengali, Odia, Assamese, I've dubbed in these
Oh,
languages. So yeah,
great.
somehow you try to pick it up.
Huh.
Yeah.
But there was a supervisor for
Of
you.
course there was.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
how would I do it? I'd done South Indian languages also.
Yeah.
वो तो impossible है वरना without a supervisor. Yeah. But language barriers also make travel more human, I feel.
Of course.
जब words fail, तब
Yeah.
smiles and kindness step
Yeah,
in.
yes.
That's how it is.
But that's the beauty of it, na. कभी-कभी misunderstandings lead to the best stories.
Yeah, like in Peru again, we were staying at an Airbnb in a town called Ollantaytambo.
बाप रे.
And this lady who was the caretaker, she didn't know a word of English as usual. So she wanted to, somehow she told us that abhi pani nahi hai.
Oh.
Because we wanted to bathe, because we had a long day and we need water, right? When you are staying somewhere. And she said that, oh, there's no water right now. But actually she wanted to say there is no hot water right now.
Oh.
Huh. So later when we wanted hot water, she told us, okay, now I've called the plumber and I've fixed it. Now we have hot water. But at that time, there was no water.
अच्छा.
So जब पानी था तब वो hot नहीं था. और जब वो hot आया तब पानी खत्म हो गया था.
Oh.
So with that Spanish English, what should I say, confusion, हमारी लाइफ वैसी हो गई थी उस दिन,
अच्छा.
उस रात.
Okay.
That's some.
So you had to manage without
we had to
water.
manage without anything, like not even for the washroom.
Oh.
क्या करें अब इस बात को? So कैसे we waited for the morning to arise, because we had woken up at 3 or 3:15. We went to Machu Picchu.
हाँ.
And we were very tired and none of us could bathe and use the washroom also at that
Oh.
night. Can just imagine. So this is what happens.
So here's the thing. Language barrier is not just about missing a word. It's about missing connection.
Mhm.
But if you look beyond the literal through gestures, kindness, and a sense of humor, you realize we are not that different at all.
Absolutely. Sometimes silence says more than words.
Yeah.
Except when you're lost and your data isn't working, then you need words for sure.
Yeah. Okay, listeners, now over to you. Tell us your funniest or most memorable language barrier moment. Did it end in disaster or a delightful surprise?
Slide into our DMs or send us a voice note, especially if it's in a completely wrong accent. We might just play it in the next episode.
And remember, the next time someone says something that makes no sense, maybe they are just on a different frequency, not a different planet.
This was Talks Without a Map, where we don't always know the language, but we figure it out with vibes.
Vibes.
See ya.